Good morning, girls, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys how to do your ovulation testing, and I have the Pregmate brand that I ordered from Amazon, and it's the 20 strips with 5 strips of the HCG pregnancy test. And so I just want to share with you guys how to test and when to test and how often to test. So if you don't know when you ovulate, I would recommend as soon as your period ends to start testing once a day in the morning. It's just different. A lot of people recommend early in the morning, or some people recommend like maybe 2 hours, but the recommendation is at least hold your pee for 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and not drinking any fluids when you test. So if you test not right as your morning pee, then you test about 2 to 3 hours later, but not drinking a lot of fluids. So that's if you don't know when you ovulate, then you test as soon as your period ends until it progresses, and then you find out that when you ovulate. If you know about when you ovulate, I do it about 5 days before, and I test once a day in the morning, and then once I get closer to my ovulation date, I start testing twice a day. And so about, I'd say 2 days before my peak surge, that's when the LH tests detect, and so that will be about 3 days before my ovulation. So when these tests is the darkest line on the second line, that means you reached your peak surge. That means within 12 to 48 hours you will ovulate, and you can't really know exactly when you will ovulate other than having an ultrasound at the doctor's, or like I know about the day is I start having crampings during a certain period of time during the day, but I know that that day is when I ovulate, but I don't really look exactly when the hour I do. So let's see how to use these. So this is how they look, and this is the back for the directions. So over here, this is invalid if there is either nothing or just one line. That's what it says. Also right here, next one says negative. So if you have just the top line is the control line. So don't worry about what shade it is. That's the control line. Also, so why these are invalid is because there is no top control line. There's nothing here, and on here is just the bottom line, not the top line. That's why it's invalid. For the negative, the control line is there. There's nothing here or a very light line. That means you are negative or low. Here in the positive, you see the control line is dark and the test line is super dark. So once you get closer to your peak surge, from this, it'll start getting darker and darker, and it'll get about the same color as the control line or even darker. And once people say just to keep testing and see when the darkest, so as soon as you get closer to as soon as you notice that it's starting to get a little darker than the faint line, start testing twice a day, which in the morning and at night. So maybe a couple hours before you go to bed or right before you go to bed. So then if you do start your surge maybe middle of the day or towards the end of the day, you catch it that afternoon, then you testing it 24 hours after you tested in the morning, and then you could have missed the surge, so you think you might have not even ovulated, or you already halfway through your peak surge, so you will ovulate within 12 hours or like that. So let's open this up. So this is how it looks, and how there is a line that says max, and that's you dip it all the way, not touching the black line. So let's go and do that. So I dipped it for 3 seconds and I pulled it out, and a pink came across, and now we have to wait for 5 minutes and it will result our test. Alright guys, it has been 5 minutes, and here is my test. The dark line is the control line, and right next to it is, here, let me try. You can see that there's a faint line, so that means it's a negative, and I am not positive, and I am not close to surging, which should be correct. I'm only 2-3 days past my period ending, so I am in cycle day 6 or 5, I think. I'm not sure, and I usually ovulate on day cycle 20, and I usually ovulate on day cycle 21, so I have a ways to go, but I will test like periodically with these tests. Like maybe I'll start testing in 3 days maybe, and then test every other day, and then as I go closer I'll test more often and see how my test strips progress, and I will do a video on those and update you guys on the LH testing. So yeah, hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. And if you guys like TTC videos and ovulation tests and pregnancy test videos and pregnancy videos, mommy lifestyle videos, subscribe down below and like this video. Bye.